Okay, boxing fans, right now we're going to talk about Tyson Fury versus Christian Hamer. Don't know why I say his name. Doesn't really matter. It's not that good a fight anyway. But we'll move on. I'll give you my opinion in a minute. First, we're going to ask the other guys their opinion. Paul, do you want to come in first? What is your opinion on this fight?
It's an okay fight. It's a keep busy fight. They're not trying to dress it up as anything else, which is fair enough. They admit that this is basically just a fight to keep Tyson active and keep him fit whilst he waits around for Klitschko or for Wilder. So, yeah, fair enough. And it's not like Hammer's like a journeyman or anything. Okay, he's not weight level in my opinion. Never will be. He's maybe European level at best. But normally when you get a keep busy fight, especially with matchroom fighters, they just get journeymen in 8 rounders. And, this is not this. Is this a 12-round fight? I think it is.
I think, yeah, it's a 12-round fight. It's for the
Yeah,
WBO
it's
international
it's a
title.
12-round fight against a guy who's got a little bit of a name. Like, I'd at least heard of this guy
No, he's
before
not
the
got a
fight
name.
was
He's not
announced.
going to... Don't dress it up that much. He's not got a name.
I mean, he's got a name in the sense that I'd at least heard of him. So, all right, I haven't watched all his fights. He's not like a former world champion or anything. But I'd at least heard the name. He's not just some RG who's been brought over from, I don't know, God knows, like we normally see. So,
Argentina.
yes, and RG's off from Argentina. The
That is
point
true.
is, he's not just some road sweeper who gets brought in, and we all think, who the hell is this? Where's he come from? Where have they found him? He's a guy, he's an active heavyweight. Yeah, basically, it's an okay fight. It's an acceptable fight.
Mm-hmm. Rory, what are your thoughts on this fight? Paul
Pretty
thinks
much.
it's an okay fight. It's acceptable. Do you think it's acceptable?
Um, in any other context, it wouldn't be. But I think, like Paul said, they're not dressing it up as something major, like, something amazing. If they were trying to pass it off, which you'd probably see more so with Matchroom, whereby they'd stand there and Eddie Hearn and the like would justify it and say that they'd wheel out some stats and say Hammer was an amazing guy and he was and try and convince you that it was something it's not. At least they're not doing that. They're not trying to sell you it as one thing. They're literally saying it is a stay busy fight. Tyson's got much bigger things ahead of him, but we need him to keep active, keep in the ring, keep training, keep himself relevant, keep himself and his name out there. And this is the way that they're doing it. I think like Paul said as well, the guy's not a world level fighter. He's probably European-ish sort of level. And it's just one of those whereby I think in the Chisora fight as well, Fury's admitted he wasn't at his best. He wasn't really feeling it. Maybe this is just kind of him getting his foot, his toe back in the water again and just continuing him to be active. Because if you imagine as well, Fury has had a lot of fights that have fallen through. We mentioned the Ustinov fight that kind of drifted away, a couple of the David Haye fights that were rescheduled and never happened. So Fury needs to be active. He's had a lot of inactivity. This year he needs to continue to be inactive. If this is probably the best guy they can get like this, then so be it. But at least they're not dressing it up as the next big thing and saying that Hammer's like, just a stone throw away of the likes of the Klitschko's. They're not saying that, so you've just kind of got to go, well, you've got to kind of accept it to an extent. It's not a great fight, but it is what it is,
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I disagree with both of you. I don't think it is an acceptable fight, and I'll tell you why, though. Because I'm not just going to say something and not back it up. First of all, Christian Hammer is not a good opponent, okay? He's not a good opponent. Paul said he's European level. I think he's barely European level. He's basically domestic level, German level. Okay, firstly, he lost his first fight. I don't mind that. People lose the fights. I understand. I'm not holding that against him. But then you've got to go all the way to his ninth fight for his next meaningful fight, as in Everyone else in between was journeyman. And he lost in the next fight against Marius Wack by knockout. Okay? So we already know against tall fighters he's got a previous of getting knocked out. Okay. So then he fights another guy called, no one we need to know. Some guy called Bedenko. Never heard of him. Never will hear of him again. Okay, lost that majority decision. And this guy's not a good fighter, by the way. He just lost that fight. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, since then he's fought like Danny Williams and that caliber of fighter. He's not very good. His best fight he's ever fought is Kevin Johnson, won a unanimous decision. But then Kevin Johnson's finished. He's fought Konstantin Erich, who we just saw AJ knock over in like 2 or 3 rounds. Brilliant. And he took him to a decision. He's also coming off a win over Costa Jr., the guy we just saw Price knock unconscious in 6 rounds, 7 rounds, 8 rounds. This guy went the distance, 12 rounds with him. That's not impressive. And I'll tell you what's worse. This guy's small. He's a small heavyweight. He's 6'2". So not only has he got a bad record of fighting bums and losing to anyone worthy of talking about, right? He's small. Why is Tyson Fury fighting another small heavyweight? People are saying, well, what's that got to do? Tyson Fury's massive. Everyone's small compared to him. When you're Tyson Fury, you have got the following options. You either fight Wladimir Klitschko for the world title. He's 6'7", 6'8". Or you fight, what's his name? Deontay Wilder, who is also, 6'7", 6'8". So maybe, you guys can come in and talk to me now, but is it just me who's thinking, maybe, just maybe it'd be a good idea fighting someone with like the same kind of stature as the opponent that you're going to go and face? Why are you getting ready to punch down against fighters and then you're not going to go and, get some practice against the guy in the ring who's a tall fighter? Yes, I know we'll do sparring as well. Yes, but if you're ready and in the big stage, you're getting ready to fight small guys, it's going to take a toll on you. And when the big fight comes, you're going to fuck up. What do you guys think? Do you think that Hamer, considering the future prospects of Tyson Fury, is a good opponent? Someone talk to me.
I'll just reiterate what I said, mate. Okay, it's not a great fight. It's not anything that we should get excited about. If it clashes with the Carl Frampton Avalos fight, because it's on the same night, then I know which fight I'm going to watch.
Damn right.
But, again, it's just, they're not trying to paint this as anything other than what it is.
I know it is, yeah. I know it's a stay busy fight. Okay.
Yeah, let me get my point out. If this was a fight happening on Sky, we know exactly what he'd say. We know the script. He'd say, "Oh, Christian Hammer's got it all to gain. He's going to come here to knock Tyson out. He's a really dangerous fighter." Blah blah blah. And you get Nick Halling and Jim Watt, bouncing on his dick, making out stupid stats about him, and we get Eddie Hearn doing the sales job. None of this is happening. If Tyson Fury was champion defending his belt, then I'd agree with everything you're saying that this is not a suitable defence. It's not good enough. But he's not a champion defending his belt. He's just a guy who's basically trying to stay fit and stay active. Would you rather that he fought some journeyman with, 10 wins and 7 losses, 3 draws from Argentina, which is what would happen if he was with any other promoter?
No. But like I said, I would rather he fought a tall fighter, maybe one with a similar style to the guys that he's possibly going to fight. For example, let me just get this one out now then, okay? So you're fighting a tall fighter. Why not fight Ustinov, someone who's a tall fighter? Okay, you're going to be fighting Deontay Wilder, a big puncher. Why don't you work on your defense and fight a limited big puncher, someone like a David Price? Why don't you fight a tall fighter? There's all tall fighters you can fight. And in the meantime, you could get more sparring in the gym, get a real training camp in, fighting tall fighters. Let's go through the journeyman, or the sparring partners who are really tall. There's, what's that guy called? Richard Towers. Bring him down. Bit of sparring with him. Tall guy. He can do that. We'll get the Marius Wack in. Fight Marius Wack. He's not got a bad jab. He knocked out Hammer. He's better than Hammer.
Yeah, but you know the reason why he's not fighting David Price, like so that
Right,
say
okay,
him
wait,
to fight
Rory from Manchester, why is he not fighting David Price?
because if this is just a stay busy fight, then they're not going to bring in David Price. If they're going to let him fight David Price, it's going to be headline bill, big arena, big show. They'll be able to build it. They'll be able to sell tickets for that. They'll be able to sell it to the public. So therefore, it's not a stay busy fight. Therefore, in terms of promotion and all that, that becomes a big deal. Equally, David Price has just had a fight anyway. In fairness, they're only a couple of weeks apart, so it could have happened in terms of logistically. But
Oh, I know,
then
I
it's
know
not
that.
a stay busy fight.
But what I'm saying is, if they offered David Price to fight, they said, look, because basically the WBO International Heavyweight title is on the line for this. So what that probably means is, if Tyson Fury is to lose to Hammer would probably still get the mandatory shot over Fury. Now, and do you see what I mean? He would probably, if he loses, he would probably lose his title shot. So he's running the gauntlet anyway, just fighting anyone. So he's going to win anyway. Surely it makes sense to fight a tall guy, and Price hasn't got the best jab, but he's got a jab and he's got a big punch. See
No,
what I
he
mean?
hasn't. He's got a big point. He hasn't got any jab at all.
Well, he showed, just this week he showed.
He showed a little one.
It was better than the one we've seen him throw before. Put it like that. Okay.
That's not saying much.
No, it's not. It's not saying much, but it's right. But all I'm saying is, surely he can fight a guy like this, make more money. Yeah, make more money. Get some real hype going about the fight and stuff, and get in a good training camp against a tall fighter. Get in a good few rounds sparring against tall fighters in the gym. Get in, an actual win against someone who's tall, and then you're going into that fight with more confidence.
Yeah, but what I would also argue in defence of that, and again, I'm not dressing this up as if it's an amazing fight, but what I would argue is, if you're Fury's promoter, why risk losing so much against a better opponent when it's only a stay busy fight? Why run the risk? Why? Because Fury, in theory, Fury's got a lot to lose. If Hammer beats him, that's a lot he's lost. So they're not going to put him in with a relatively lively opponent.
Yeah.
If it's only going to be a stay busy fight.
I see that.
It doesn't make sense.
I know what you mean, but...
I mean, it's rubbish because I'm sick of seeing him fight small guys.
It's shit like that, though. It's shit that, let's be honest. What we're saying is we know boxing. We know he's not going to fight anyone good because he doesn't want to take the risk. Fighting Man Fury, he will not take the risk. Yes, we know that. You know what I mean? Such the big fighting man. He's not going to take a risk. I know what you mean, and that's true. I can't argue with that point. He won't take a risk. It's so much easier not to take the risk when you've got a sure thing coming. I understand that, but I just think it would be more beneficial for him in the long run.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like we were looking at his record as well. I think he's only ever fought one guy that was either his height or tall, and that was when he was like one of his first ever fights.
The guy's still smaller than him, but
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of the journeymen. Yeah.
What I'd say though is, how do you know he's not sparring tall guys?
Well, he's sparring his cousin, but
he can't. Hughie Fury and Eddie Chambers surely can't be the only guys who Tyson Fury spars. I don't believe that.
I don't think so. But
you'd hope not.
Well, let's be honest.
I really hope.
Oh, come on, he's not bringing in tall guys for a short guy in training camp, is he? He
could be sparring guys of all different shapes and sizes.
I bet he does, but that's not how I would do it. I would do it.
You're not his trainer.
I know. I understand that, but I'm just
give Pete a call. We'll get him on.
Exactly. In this sense, that's what people do. They spar similar styles, similar fighters, and then when they get in the ring with them, they feel that they know the fighter. That's what they do. Any trainer will tell you that. Any trainer.
Should we just go on to the prediction?
We should go on to the prediction. But like I said, I just want to say, well, yeah, I can't say that else about that. Yeah. So we don't even need to do a prediction. Go on. Okay, Fury by knockout. I know that.
Dead snap.
Do you want to pick a round?
Yeah, we should.
Round 9 onwards. Last 3. Round 9 onwards. No, 8 onwards. Last third of the fight.
Fucking hell, Brody. Round 7 to 9. One, Paul.
4, 5, or 6.
That's even worse. You've just been defending the fight and you said it's going to be over in 4 rounds.
No, I said the fight was a keep busy fight. That's what I said. That's what most keep busy fights are.
It's not like
about 4, 5, or 6 rounds.
Keep shitty fight. The undercard's going to be better. Who's on the undercard? Generally, actually, the undercard's barely going to be any better because it's
it's going to be Tudor now versus the Golovkin Slayer himself, Mr. Eubank. Golovkin Slayer.
Second coming.
I've actually not seen too much of Tudor, so I actually wouldn't know. I think...
No.
But, Eubank makes life hard for himself, so it could actually be quite a good fight, so I don't know. I don't know, guys, but we all know that this is a foregone conclusion. Fury knockout. Put it like this: if he doesn't knock him out, something's wrong. Thanks for listening, guys. Feel free, in fact, to hate.